Well, Meredith, welcome back. I'm so excited to have you here.
Excited to be here.
I cannot wait for the new season.
I can't either.
You feeling good about it?
I mean, you know, there's always a little anxiety going in, but yeah, overall, I'm cautiously optimistic.
Right, yes.
I mean, I'm optimistic that we're going to have a great season for sure, but for myself.
Sure, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, we came off of, obviously, a very tumultuous finale, and it seemed like the core four kind of really banded together. Did that kind of carry over into this next season, or how long did it last for?
Well, you know, I think we did come out feeling this bond and connection together last year, and I think that we all went back in hoping to make that last, hoping to kind of further it.
Sure.
But like any relationship, there are bumps along the road, and in order to get that connection, some things have to be flushed out.
Sure.
So it's not just smooth sailing.
No, it never is. What did you kind of want to flush out coming into this season?
I felt that I had been very wrongfully under fire the previous year, so I just wanted to find a level of peace with that.
Who did you feel like you were really under fire from coming off of last season?
I mean, really, almost everybody. Like,
Okay.
I shouldn't say almost. Yes, everybody.
Everybody, yes. And do you feel like you got those answers pretty quickly about who was kind of in your corner and who wasn't?
Yeah, I mean, it may not be a direct answer, but people's actions always send a message.
Actions always speak louder than words. Who would you say was the biggest kind of pot stirrer this season?
Wow. Really? I don't know that there's any one specific person that was really stirring the pot. I feel like everyone had a hand in it to some extent.
Yes.
It was a little more even this year than most.
It was funny. I was speaking to some of the ladies yesterday, and they said the same thing. It was like pretty much, it was evenly dispersed from everybody. Heather did say Angie K kind of put herself into a lot of drama that she shouldn't have been in. Do you agree?
Yes, I mean, look, from my perspective, we all saw the scroll of, you know, things that she thought I owed an apology for that I don't think I owed an apology for any of them because I didn't do them, but, you know, so something like that, yeah, you're kind of throwing yourself into it, but everyone did. Yeah. Everybody. Everybody had a lot of heat on them and created a lot of heat.
Sure.
It was definitely dispersed everywhere.
Yes. Who had the biggest trouble telling the truth this season?
I think probably Whitney. It may have been her truth, but I don't think it is actually the truth.
Okay. Talk a little bit more about the relationship between the two of you this season. We see the two of you really kind of go at it. Maybe trickling in from last season as well. There may be some more drama over the baths and things like that. So can you give me a little bit of context about what we're going to see between the two of you this season?
Well, a little bath drama I think is amazing. That's the kind of drama I like.
Same here.
Anything about the bathtub, okay? So yeah, you'll get that for sure.
Okay.
You know, Whitney and I feel like butt heads every year.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it's what, we just don't see life from the same standpoint is really what it boils down to.
So this wasn't a surprising turn of events for you?
No.
No. What did you make when you watched the trailer of her listening up against the door when you were speaking with Lisa?
Well, it's just really funny because, like, I knew it, and I'm like, she's probably listening right now, and I was like, that is hysterical.
Hysterical, it was.
You know, I was like, oh my gosh, and then I actually just called to ask because, you know, it is just like a teaser. So I'm like, well, maybe they just put that together, but no, that really happened. I had to call and ask. I was like, did that really happen, or is just part of the tease? And they're like, no.
That was a perfect moment. Where do you and Lisa stand this season? Because the two of you made amends last season, and it seems like things were good. Does that carry over into season 5?
It does, and you know, I'm not going to say where we all end at the end because we, you know,
you got to keep them, keep everybody watching.
But Lisa and I are off to a great start this year, and you'll see.
Yeah.
You'll see how it all unfolds.
Yeah.
I think you guys are going to like it.
Do you feel like you'll ever get that friendship back that you once had?
I don't think either of us are looking to go backwards.
Okay.
You know, I think that it's like, I say this about my marriage. Like when I talk about my relationship with Seth, it's our second marriage, even though technically it's not. We never divorced and remarried. Yeah. But from our standpoint, it's a new relationship. And that's where Lisa and I are. It's not, we don't want the same relationship. That failed. It didn't work.
No, you're right.
So we want something that's better, you know, and hopefully we get it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I love that that's how you look at your marriage now. It's like the second time around, even though you never got divorced. Do you feel like having that perspective totally changed things for the two of you?
I do, because I think when you have that perspective, it allows you to let a lot of things go, you know, and you can't go backwards. And if you're sitting here and you're like, well, 10 years ago, you said blah, blah, you're never going to make it. Like, you're doomed. And so you have to, at some point, say, we've been through enough. It was dark. It was ugly. Let's clean it up and start again for real. Yeah. You know?
So do the two of you have like a rule that like things from the past never get brought up?
Seth and I?
Yeah.
We try not to.
Okay.
You know, sometimes when it's like a heated argument, we
right.
both
of course,
do it.
in the heat of the moment.
But at least we're also both aware enough that when we calm down, we can work through it.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely. How are the kids doing?
They're great. Yeah. Everybody's here in the city. They're all working. They're all busy. They're socializing. Very social.
Very social. Your son is going to be on a new series. Is that right?
I mean, he's booked and busy with a lot of stuff. You know, a lot of modeling. A lot of. He's working on a new collection that's spectacular. I saw his samples and I was like, he came back from Europe wearing it, and I thought it was like some chic new European designer that he had bought that I hadn't seen before. It was his.
That's amazing.
So I was like, oh yes.
Good for him.
Can't wait.
Good for him. Does he have a good feeling about reality TV based on what happened with him in the past? Does he feel okay going forward, maybe pursuing his own reality TV and things like that? And what advice would you give him?
You know, I think that with everything that Brooks, you know, dealt with in some of our earlier seasons, I think that he developed thick skin. Yeah. He learned not to worry about what the next guy thinks, and that's the key to success in reality TV, as far as I'm concerned.
Sure, no,
you
definitely.
know, if you get yourself all wound up that you know so and so commented whatever, you'll never get anything done.
No, that's so true. After reunion and things like that, is that kind of your motto? Do you kind of just let everything go and not dwell on the past, and you're kind of just looking forward to what's next?
So that always had in the past been my motto, and I had actually never gone backwards at all and like rewatched anything. Once the season was finished airing, I didn't ever rewatch again. But I saw last year a lot of women trying to bring things up from years ago, and so I thought, well, if you want to go there, we can go there. So I went back and rewatched everything this year.
Put on my detective hat on and
I don't think anyone liked that very much.
No.
Don't get me started. Right. I'm always moving forward.
Okay.
But if you want to go backwards, we can do that.
Sure. When you watched it back, what really stood out to you from last season?
Well, last season wasn't from season 4. That wasn't really my focus.
Okay, that wasn't your focus.
1 through 3 were.
Okay,
we just had season 4.
Right, you see, that's fresh.
Yeah. So, what was interesting though to me when I rewatched as an overriding theme is being removed from it. You know, having time pass and everything else. It was a lot easier for me to understand other people's perspectives. Whether I agreed with them or not, I at least was able to understand certain things that I don't think I got in real time.
Sure, yeah.
So that was probably the most interesting thing
Interesting.
for me.
Does that have anything to do with the breakdown of your friendship with Mary this season?
I'm not sure I understand that myself.
Okay.
I'm not sure really what the problem was. Maybe I'll understand when I watch it. Maybe I'll understand in 3 years when I rewatch it. If I rewatch it, who knows? I don't know. I don't understand it.
So it kind of came out of left field for you.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
Do you feel like, or maybe I should ask, how do you feel like Mary has used you over the past 3 years?
Well, like I said, this all came out of left field, you know, and did I sense some little things? Yeah, along the way, yeah, a little stuff, but nothing like of real significance. And there were also like little things that we talked about on the phone or whatever, so I didn't think there were any like outstanding issues. And then suddenly when, you know, she's feeling comfortable with other women who she hadn't had a comfort zone with anyone other than me for, you know, the last few years, all of a sudden it was like, I got attacked. And I was like, well, that doesn't feel real good. That feels like I was used for the last 3 years, because why is it now all of a sudden that you are comfortable? I don't understand why you're coming after me. And now it happened. So yeah, it didn't feel good.
No, it's almost like she dropped you when something else came along.
That's what it felt like to me, and that's why I said that.
Yeah. Was the friendship with Angie K, did that have something to do with it, that the two of them got so close?
I don't know.
You don't know. Like
you know,
said,
because I don't know, like, I wasn't around the two of them together very often, so I don't know what their conversations were. I don't know what the whole dynamic was. I do know that at one point you will see in this argument that I did get blamed for something that I literally had zero to do with. So I'm not sure exactly who was planting that with her.
Sure.
It may have been Angie. It may have been somebody else who's involved in it. I don't know. So I'm curious to find out with everybody else. Or it may not have been planted. It may have been Mary's own choice. I have no idea.
Yeah. I never thought we would see the day that Whitney and Mary were on the same page, and even Heather and Mary too. What did you make of that?
I mean, I like to see everyone get along,
of course, whether
I'm getting along with you or not. Like, I'm not rooting against anyone. Like, I genuinely do want to see all of the women succeed. I genuinely want them to find whatever makes them happy and be happy and, you know, whatever. So I think it's great. Like, I think people should be friends, you know?
Right. The more the merrier.
Yeah.
And I did hear Mary did participate in group activities.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yes.
That's a win.
She was more of a participant than I was.
Wow. Okay. All right. From zero to hero.
There's a reason I wasn't very big of a participant, which you will find out.
Okay. Everything good health-wise?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay.
Nothing's wrong.
Nothing's wrong. I did speak to Mary yesterday, and she did seem open to the two of you getting back on track. After coming off of the last season, do you feel that way as well? Would you want to see this relationship, like you said, never go backwards to the way that it was, but maybe a different form of friendship?
Yeah, I mean, it is. You know, like, things unfolded, and that changes the dynamic.
Yeah.
So we are in a different dynamic right now. Where that ends up landing, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It appears that Mary and Heather kind of hashed things out. Maybe some of the comments that came about last season around surrounding body image and things like that. Did those comments take you by surprise?
I mean, yeah. Any comment about another woman's appearance always takes me by surprise. You know, it's just not
the right thing to do. Yeah.
No, we all know it's not.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I'm always taken by surprise by anything like that.
Do you think Heather looks good?
I think Heather looks fabulous.
Great. Yeah, she does.
And she feels fabulous. At the end of it, that's what matters.
That's what matters. Yeah.
She looks beautiful, but she feels great, and you know, she's happy with herself, and that's
what more can you ask
all
for?
you want.
It's all you want. It really is. Whitney and Lisa have a lot of issues this season too. Based on what I spoke about with Whitney yesterday, it seems like things get really heavy between the two of them. Is that fair to say?
I'd say that's very fair. Yeah.
Which is strange because it seemed like the two of them formed somewhat of a friendship last season too.
Yeah, the last couple of years they had, and I feel like there was tension brewing last year that we saw. That just gets exacerbated and has all kinds of new elements thrown its way too.
Right.
So it's a lot between the two of them. It's fiery.
Yeah. Whitney said that she completely crossed the line when husbands got involved in the drama. Do you agree with that?
I was shocked that both Justin and John, like, because I've never seen either of them like at all ruffled.
Sure.
You know, they are both like pretty cool cucumbers.
Sure.
And so yeah, that was like very surprising. Very surprising.
Very surprising.
I mean, I understand how it happened and whatever, but it's still going to be, that would always surprise me. Just
right.
Because I don't think any of the husbands on our, in our group are like real
into the drama
fighters.
No, definitely not.
No. So I'd be surprised by any of them.
Yeah,
to be totally honest.
Totally. New housewife this season as well, Bronwyn. What does she bring to the mix?
Bronwyn brings a lot.
Okay.
She has a big, strong personality. She's very opinionated and not shy about sharing her opinions, which obviously is, makes for good entertainment.
Yes, definitely.
And all of the new women add a new dynamic to the group, which I think, is fresh and welcoming. And I'll have to see where it all lands, because I don't know what happened in the moments I wasn't there. I think it's all okay, but who knows?
You never know. You never know when you rewatch.
I'll tell you what I think of all the new women after we wrap.
Exactly. I have to catch up with you in a few weeks after it airs. Were you keeping new women at maybe an arm's length this season based on what happened with Monica last year?
I think that all of us are a little trepidatious now because you're just, I mean, I've always been cautious in my friendships. I've been burned many, many times. I think everybody has as a grown-up. Like, no one gets unscathed.
Yep.
But, so yeah, I think we're probably a little more on guard, but still, like, you have to move forward, and you don't want to sit and be stagnant because of something that happened that's over.
Yes.
So I think everyone was somewhat open, but somewhat probably a bit more guarded.
Yeah, definitely. Did you as a group feel, not the pressure coming off of last season because it was such a monumental season, and obviously that finale is going to be like top 3 episodes of Housewives history because it was just so good. But did you feel like, okay, we really got to step up our game even more coming into this season? Did you feel like that at all?
No. Really? I mean, yes, of course. We all want to succeed.
Course,
we all want everything to be successful and a beautiful show and entertaining and have everybody love it and whatever else. But we're just living our lives, and so we're obviously optimistic that somehow unfolds, but like, it's like the more you chase it, the more you miss it kind of thing. You can't do that. You have to just move forward as you would, and sure enough, in our group, something always explodes.
I mean, based on that trailer, I mean, we are not lacking for drama or entertainment.
No, there's never a lack of drama in our group. It's it's insane.
Have you rewatched the finale last season?
From last? No, I have not rewatched last season yet. I probably will going into this one.
Okay, we're going into this one. What did you make of all the memes of like the beach scene when Heather was telling you, and like there's that photo or screenshot of you with your hair blowing, and they're like hanging up in the loop.
I thought that was hysterical.
Yeah.
Like, those are the moments where you just have no clue that this is what's going to come of it. Where you just are like, because it was just so, all of our shock was just, it was genuine. Like, and it was just truly a crazy moment on that beach. And so, it was wild.
It was wild. Back in April, Andy said that he would want Monica to come back in some form in the future. How would you feel about that?
I mean, that's not up to me in any capacity, and that's, Andy has a lot more say in that than I do.
Sure, yeah. But it was interesting because I spoke to some of the ladies and they just said, sure, maybe, but there's just no way that she would probably even fit in with this dynamic going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like, and look, maybe I'm wrong. This is just my opinion. I can't speak for Monica. I haven't talked to her. I don't really know what she thinks about all of it. But I would imagine that Monica would prefer to do a different show at this point. It would make more sense. But I don't know.
Yeah. Have you gotten any form of an apology from her afterwards? Have any of the ladies?
I can't speak for anybody else because I don't know, but I haven't communicated with her, so, you know, no, not since reunion.
Not since reunion. Interesting. You know, there's so much focus on Salt Lake City lately, and I feel like, you know, a lot of new reality shows are popping up, including The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. What do you know any of those ladies? What do you make of the mom talk?
I don't know any of the women on it. I've seen, like, I think there was just a teaser.
Sure, yeah.
I think that's all that came out. So I saw that, which looked pretty wild.
It's wild.
And, you know, I hope they do great.
Yeah.
Like, great.
Sure.
I think I don't see it as like a competition.
No, it's definitely not. Yes. No, it's totally different.
So I'm rooting for them.
Yeah.
I hope it goes well.
Yeah.
You know, bring more life to Utah.
Definitely. So to wrap it up, going into season 5, what is like the perfect teaser that you could give for fans?
Going into season 5, the perfect teaser. I don't know. It's crazy. It's really crazy. It's, you know, it's like last year we had like this big end, like reveal sort of thing. I feel like we have minis throughout. You know, I feel like there's like so many twists and turns that are so unexpected and surprises, and I'm like, okay, let's see what surprises I'm going to see as I watch, because it's like a lot of mini reveals.
Okay, little bombs being
a
dropped.
lot of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Nothing is stable.
Never.
No.
Never in Salt Lake City is anything stable. That's what we love about it. Meredith, thank you so much for coming by. It's always a pleasure catching up with you.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Always.